I don't really know how to start this video with this. Let's talk blades, everybody. That's what we're into today. I got for you Balisong. I tried looking up videos on this, and I couldn't really find anything, so I don't know if I'm the first, unless there's a video out there and I missed it. I'm not entirely sure. But this one is from Mantis Knives. If you guys are familiar with Mantis Knives, from my experience, they look appealing, but when it comes down to it, they seem a little bit underwhelming. I don't know if... I'm hoping I'm using the right way to describe how I feel. I hope I'm wording it right, at least, because it's not that I don't like them, and it's not that I had high expectations for something that ends up turning out to be a little less than what I thought it was. But it's not necessarily bad. You know, I don't mean to, ping-pong you around here with my feelings about this. But anyways, here it is. Mantis Knives. This is the Mothra. Balisong. Mothra. And then this second one right here is actually just a interchangeable blade trainer. So really cool stuff. It took me a little while to really choose which one I wanted to do. I chose this one because this one looked really a little bit more appealing than the Tonto version, and so I ended up getting the Tonto blade. But this is a trainer blade, so either way, it's super cool. I do enjoy the blade, or I do enjoy the Balisong. The only problem, and I'll get into like the things that kind of irk me about this. But as you can tell, very generic box. It's nothing really too crazy. It's just your foam insert and cardboard. No fancy-pantsy anything. No literature of any kind. No knife. What is it? Warranty, nothing. Just your typical generic box. Nothing crazy, fancy. I'll get to the other one here in a second, but I want to get to this, the main feature of the video here. This is titanium handle scales, and yes, it looks like it's worn, but it's not. This is how it comes to you from the factory. I purchased this off of Blade HQ. I gotta tell you, I really do like the materials being used in this 154 cm steel. And it is titanium handle scales. It is a bit blocky, in my personal opinion. When you have this thing, it's a bit bulky and blocky. It does have a interchangeable pocket clip that you can switch from right to left hand. You got the tap right there, so you can just flop it from each side if you want to. Now this closure is kind of free swinging. It's not a spring closure. But hey, it works. It flips fine. It looks really attractive. We'll get into the specs of everything in a minute. But like I said, right off the bat, when I got this, something really bothered me, and that is the blade to handle play, which you can tell right there. It moves around a decent sum. So whether or not that bothers you, which to me it kind of does, but I understand it's for the mechanism of the knife. Now, what the heck do I mean by that? This is an interchangeable blade. You can, as long as it is a Mantis style knife blade that can switch out with this kind of thing, you just press this button on both of these handle scales and the blade comes right out. And then, of course, you can take one of the, not this one, and swap it out for another blade. Now, I haven't found any actual blades that I can swap out. I just found just the trainer, this trainer Tonto, and I'm sure that they have others. They're probably just not available right now, and that's okay. The fact that I have this so that way I can throw on the trainer is pretty neat. Now that means that this blade is dull, okay? I'm rubbing my finger on it. You're not going to get cut by this thing. The only downer is that it does have one heck of a tip on there, so be careful for that. So this isn't something that you could just go around safely thinking that you can't stab anything. This does have a pretty aggressive tip right there. But everything else, it's pretty much dull. So you can't really cut anything with this. I mean, you could if you really put enough pressure to it, but why would you? This thing isn't meant for that. It's meant for training. Meant for your, your usage and all that. I really do like the look of that. That's actually pretty cool. But it flips and everything. It's just, you can feel how loose it is. It feels like it's already been worked in. And I think the price tag on this is like $288 and change, something like that. If that doesn't bother you, then hey, do it if you want to. I think that this is a very unique kind of design. And with that being said, as long as it's locked in place, I don't think the handles are going to go anywhere. I don't think that this is... The hell did I just do? Oh, I put the handles on the wrong sides. Oh, silly of me. This isn't really meant for any like serious this is not really meant for any serious flipping, simply because if you were to tap this, you put any kind of pressure on this on these little buttons here, you could risk having the knife fall apart. But as long as you're not doing any crazy tricks with this thing and you're doing the simple opening and closing, I think you have a better shot at keeping the blade from, coming apart. I think this is a really interesting... It's an interesting design. It thinks outside of the box. You can simply, without any tools, simply change the blade to something else. So I think that's really neat. It's right there. You see it says trainer on there. I'm going to have to clean that. 420, so you understand the kind of blade steel you're getting, and you got the Mantis symbol on the other side. On here, it's practically the same. So you got, the Mantis stamp right there, and then you have 154 cm, and this is the live blade. Obviously, it's the dull side. Yeah, I just touched the live blade area. So it's sharp. It's not really sharp, but it'll get the job done. This side's nice and dull. So this is actually it's an interesting piece. It really is. I like it because it looks different, and it really does look awesome just the way that it is. But when you get it, it literally doesn't feel like it's worth close to $300 when you have that much blade play. But I understand. The mechanism needs to be a certain way in order for it to work, so maybe that's kind of what it is. This is a bit chunky, it's blocky, and this thing just likes to flop around. For something that's close to $300, I would have expected to be spring tension, or spring, keeping this thing straight would be fantastic, but instead it kind of just flops around. It's actually a nice... I like the look of it. It's really visually appealing. It's really nice. It's a tight closure, open and closed. That pocket clip is great. And yes, all that worn look is actually hand done. I can tell because it's uneven in so many places. You can tell that somebody went and did these, separate from the actual... I don't know, I just like it. I like the look of it. It looks really nice. A few other Mantis products that I've had in the past weren't all that impressive. But I don't think I'm going to be purchasing too much of anything from Mantis anymore, simply because this thing doesn't feel like I would spend $300 on this. But I understand the gimmick behind it. You can interchange the blades as long as you're able to find one that fits and that's available for purchase. Like this blade right here is the trainer, so I'm going to swap this in and out. And if I want to, I think I could sharpen this. I could if I wanted to. It feels like it's set up for that. But especially with that tip right there, man, that's an aggressive tip. Like, I could stab something with that. Like, I feel it going If I put too much pressure, I think I could break the skin, and that is not good for a trainer. You know, for a trainer, you would think it'd be, you know, holes drilled in it and then rounded off so you can't stab anything with it. But this thing's got one hell of a tip. It just doesn't have an edge, obviously. I wouldn't be running my thumb on this edge if it didn't, you know. So, I mean, that's just me. I think this is really nice for what it is. If you feel like you need that, it's good for you. You can just swap it out if you have to. I don't know. Anytime I get a Mantis, I feel like I'm not getting what I thought I was getting. It's not bad, but it's not great. I don't know. I can't really say too many good things about it, but I can't really say too many bad things about it either. Aesthetically, it just seems like the type of knife that's for a collector. If you are a knife collector like I am, then it's something that you'll appreciate regardless. But if you're looking for functionality, I think if you want the idea of interchanging a blade for another blade, just swap it in and out if you want to. I mean, that'd be great for that, sure. My thing is I haven't really had enough time to really know how durable it truly is. Now, what the heck do I mean by that? If I'm flipping around a Balisong, I don't want the thought of it falling apart. And this, with the blade play in it, and you saw the handles, how they kind of, they do this. There's no way to fix that, because what's holding this entire knife together is these two buttons right here that are, you know, the bars that keep everything attached. So I don't know. That sort of thing's yet to be determined. I might do an update video on this if it decides to fail on me. But as long as I, you know, open and close it with decent understanding, then I doubt that this thing will fail on me. It is a pretty hefty sum of a knife. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and do the specs on the knife. I'm going to do the weight, the length, all that good and happy snuff. So here we go. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be anything less. So 5.47 ounces. This thing's almost 6 ounces, so yeah. Now that's not necessarily bad, but I'd like to keep it at 6 ounces if it was my personal, you know, kind of liking. But for titanium and all handle, I guess I can't really complain too much. Now, flipping it's fine. It's nice and smooth. I don't really have too many things bad to say about that. And you're looking at, from the handle to the tip of the blade, you're looking at 4.5. And if you're looking at cutting surface, you're looking at about 4 1/4, 4 a little bit, 4 1/4. So, all right. Now, my thing is, like I said, it's a bit chunky. It does look great, though. It's great for fun and great for switching out the blade and turning it into a trainer. Ooh. I just hit the other blade. Yeah, I can't really flip it on camera because I'll be hitting stuff or hitting my tripod, so it's fine regardless. It's not, you know. I was about to send it back, thinking to myself, you know what, this isn't worth it. But then I was thinking, the design itself is one of a kind, at least to me. 0.15 on the blade, and you're looking at 0.52 on the handle. So it is a pretty, it's a chunky monkey for you know what it is. I gotta tell you though, when I'm flipping this thing, I do feel a lot of the knife. Now that could be a kind of a deal breaker for some. If you're planning on doing tricks, this is not the knife for you. I strongly advise against it, only because of the fact that this knife is so easily taken apart. You can take it apart and put it back together. I don't think that crazy stunts with this thing would be advised in any way. If you're going to use it just for opening and closing, and you're going to use it for self-defense or whatever, this might actually work for you. I think that this is pretty sturdy for that. But for tricks and stuff like that, where you might end up hitting one of these buttons by accident. Now, I'm not saying it's weak, but I mean, it doesn't take a lot to press that down. You know, it does feel secure. I'm not saying that it doesn't. But that still kind of makes me nervous. I don't think that I would trust any heavy tricks with this kind of a knife. The whole gimmick thing of switching out the blades without ever using a tool, I think that's a really neat thing. The only downer, like I said, is the handle play. Right here is pretty atrocious. This feels like an already worked in Balisong when I just got it today. So that kind of puts a frown on my face. But at the same time, some are going to feel just like this, even if they are used. So, but you can fix it then. You know, you can always tweak the pivot if there is a pivot to tweak. Unless it's like a pin construction, then you're kind of, you know, SOL. But I mean, it's not bad either way. You can lock it open, lock it closed. Like I said, it just feels kind of blocky to me, and all these weird little bumps that they've tried to contour down but couldn't at the same time. It just seems a little silly to me, but it's not bad. I do like the blade design. I think that's really nice. That kind of like Roman spear point kind of looking thing. I don't know. I don't even know what to call that, but it's really, really nice. I gotta tell you, like, as I'm flipping it, it feels pretty sturdy, but I don't think I want to go outside of flipping it out of the normal. Another thing that kind of bothers me is when you look at this thing, the blade likes to hug one side or the other because of the blade and handle play, which is kind of ugly to me. That means that this blade could be touching the handle at any time, and you're scratching the blade, or you're ruining the handles, one of the two or both. That's the kind of thing that I just don't like to see. You know, I don't like my knife blade rubbing up against the handle of the knife handle if it shouldn't, you know. That kind of bothers me. But it still functions, it still works, still looks pretty, I think. Comes in generic boxing, so you're not getting anything too special. But it is a good knife, though, especially if you're somebody who likes to collect Balisongs like I do. And this probably isn't as bad as, you know, you would expect. So, I don't know. That's just me. The Mantis Mothra, I don't understand why they called it that. But still pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I'm not going to if I see another replaceable blade for this, then obviously I might go ahead and purchase it. Other than that, I think it's cool the way that it is with the trainer that it has. Oh, excuse me. I'm a little bit on the tired side today. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. Either way, you can find it on Blade HQ if you're at all interested, but this knife isn't exactly cheap. Like I said, $288 and change, almost $300. Yeah, this is kind of a beast of a knife, so like I said, just be aware of that. But it is a very attractive knife to me, in my opinion. I do enjoy the look of it. The feel of it's a little bit strange, but I guess it'll grow on you. It's not too bad. I don't know. That's just me. Go ahead and slash that like button, stab that subscribe, slice that bell icon so you guys are notified anytime I post new things. And in these craziest of days, everybody please be kind, be safe, carry responsibly, and I'll see you all awesome people in the next video.